This video is brought to you by the FarmerKlein YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Farming Simulator 22 map first impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at New American. But before that, this video is brought to you by Mark DuPont and Andre Yokoma. Thank you for being farm barons. So the New American map we found at the FarmingSimulator.com website or the in-game downloadable content menu, and as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for all platforms. Let me read you some of the description. Welcome to the New American map, where the map has a plain with medium-large fields with a landscape inspired by the region of the United States. This map has all the standard production chains of the game. The player already starts with a well-assembled structure with 3 animal stables, cows, sheep, and chickens. You'll also find equipment for working with grass and a field ready to start mowing the lawn. This map contains 56 farmlands, 36 fields, 8 forest areas, 5 points of sale, and I hope you all like it. Have a good time. Let's go ahead and load into the map. We are going to be using the mods we typically use when we look at maps. That is additional field info, additional game settings, animal food overview, field lease, field calculator, precision farming, and straw harvest. I will tell you, if you load this map up in farm management or start from scratch, you will find that the main farm is completely void of all buildings. You do have starting machinery in all play modes, and of course you do not own any land in those alternate game modes. Now, with respect to low power systems, I did notice when I first loaded this map up, I had a little bit of hitching here at the main farm, but it was basically while I was loading in textures. After that, I had no issues whatsoever on this map, maintaining a nice solid 60 frames per second on a low-end system using integrated graphics. Let's go ahead and take a look at the PDA itself. As you can see, this map is made up mostly of square or rectangular fields. We do have all the standard crops available to us in FS22 available on this particular map. And if we take a look at our lands, we start up by owning Farmland ID 2. This is the main starting farm. There is no number here because we do have the BGA over here that is also a part of that. So the Farmland ID 2 is over here, kind of part of field 28. At any rate, in any alternate game mode, we can buy this area for nearly $300,000. In addition to that, we own Farmland ID 3, 4, and 49 at the start in New Farmer mode. As I mentioned, we do have a BGA over here on the map, and we do own that at the start in New Farmer mode. Now, there's a couple interesting points of interest here. We do have a buildable area, Farmland ID 62, as well as 57 and 58, 59, 63, 55. These are typically tied to the productions that are on the map. In fact, there are 12 productions pre-placed on this particular map. Let's go ahead and take a look at our farmland lease screen. This is going to show us all of the viable farmlands, how large those farmlands are, if those farmlands include any field or fields, what is included. Then lastly, how much is that farmland going to cost us? We can see the field numbers are pretty scattered all over the place. So it is going to be important to cross-reference this with respect to our field calculator screen when we are looking to see exactly how large each particular field may be. We've got field 9, which is 10.82 hectares. I believe that is going to be the largest field on this map. Let's go ahead and take a look at our precision farming soil map. This map is using the generic soil map. So let's see how that is getting applied to these fields. The fields just south of the main farm here are a nice mix of loamy sand and sandy loam. Fields further to the south are going to have a larger mixture of silty clay, as are the fields to the north. Kind of the ideal mix of fields are over here to the west, which has a nice mix of loam and sandy loam. Take a look at our crop counter. We do have the standard base game crop counter that is once again available to us here in FS22. And if we take a look down through all of our prices screen, you will see that we do indeed have the ability to sell all of our base game crops. With respect to our eggs, wool, and milk, as well as our silage, hay, straw, and grass. We also have the ability to sell those things. Now, with respect to our base game productions, we have the ability to sell everything except chocolate. We've seen this before in other maps where we can sell literally everything but chocolate. And I've not really figured out why that's coming up. What basis of a map didn't have chocolate in it that all of these seem to have something common with? If you've got an idea, let me know down in the comments below. At any rate, we do not have the ability to sell chocolate on this map. We also do not have the ability to buy bulk lime, which is... Sorry, that is an incorrect statement. I was looking at this when I sold the lime station at the starting farm. So that is why I'm picking up that there was no lime initially. That is exactly on me. Sorry about that. We do have the ability of buying bulk lime. It is here at the main farm. It's just when I was pre-looking at this map before the recording, I deleted everything on the farm, including the lime station, and then I looked at my prices screen. I did things a little bit out of order. I apologize for that. But we do not have the ability to sell stones. So if you are going to play with stones enabled, you will need to put down your own stone sell point. And then lastly, if you do have a farm production pack, you're going to need to put something down to wash your, or to sell your washed root crops. Also, if you are going to be using the platinum expansion production items on those forested areas, you will need to put down your own sell point for those. If you are going to use the premium expansion root crops, we do have the ability to sell our productions and root crops. In addition, if you are using separated manure and pumps and hoses, you do have the ability to sell that. And if you are using straw harvest, you do have the ability to sell your hay and straw pellets. We started with a decent listing of starting machinery. All of it is owned. None of it is leased. While we do have a chicken coop, cow barn, and sheep area here on the starting farm, they do not have any animals at the start. We do have contracts available on this map. We do own the BGA at the start. And this map does not have any collectibles. Let's go ahead and take a look at our starting fleet. We start out with the Massey Ferguson 7S 190 medium tractor, as well as the Valtra Valmet 8750 and the John Deere 4755. We have the Deucefar Topliner 4090H harvester that is paired up with the 4090H grain header and the 4090H header trailer. We have the Manitou MLT 625-75H telehandler. We have the John Deere Gator, the XUV 865M side-by-side. We also have the Brainer Z 18051/2 XXL Power Flex trailer. We have the Torino 3FX cultivator. The Nordstein HK25 NS 3030 seeder and power harrow combination. The the ZATS 3200 fertilize spreader. The Kuhn GMD 4411 side mower and GMD 3123F front mower. We have the GF 8712 tedder and the Pottinger Top Alpine 342 windrower. We have the Zelon CFS 2501 DO forage wagon, the VB 3190 round baler. We have the POW 24 bale trailer, as well as the RA 142 TMR mixer. For our telehandler, we have a pallet forks, and we have 3 1,500 kilogram front weights. With respect to mods and DLCs, this map does not have any custom vehicles or implements. Now, directly behind us, we do have our farmhouse with our sleep trigger. And you're going to find a lot of these buildings are basically the starting buildings on Elm Creek. So we have our little garage. A nice large easy shed for some of our hay making machinery. For a John Deere, we have a pull-through silage bunker. We have a 3-bay garage. Then we have our farm silo with our dump and fill point. Inside the barn here, we do have several hay bales, silage bales, straw bales. We have big bags of lime, as well as seed. We have a pallet of silage additive as well. We have our fuel tank. We have that lime station that I was mentioning earlier. I was able to sell this, and then I did take a look at the prices screen afterward, and that is why I didn't see a sell price for mine. We do have our base game cow building here. So we have our slurry point. We have our food and straw trough. 45 cows are available in this building. And then we have our milk trigger and our manure heap. Now behind the farmhouse is where we're going to find the other animals. So we have our base game chicken coop. 360 chickens available here. We have our food trough. Then we have our sheep area. We have our wool. We have our food. Then we have our sheep delivery room to the side. And we have 65 sheep in here. Now back to the other side of the farm. There's one more thing I want to show you. The one thing that you cannot sell, and the one thing that is available on the starting farm in new farmer mode or start from scratch, is going to be a dealer trigger located right here. So this is permanently a part of the map. You do not have the ability to sell this dealer trigger, but you can sell everything else here at the starting farm or in new farmer mode or start from scratch. Everything else here at the farm is gone with the exception of this dealer trigger. Let's go ahead and take a look at our animal food requirements. I don't expect to see anything drastically different here. It is all basic. All of our food requirements are standard base game items. Let's get a little bit of altitude so we can once again kind of take a look here at our farm. Now, with respect to the farm being customizable, I debated a little bit as to if I should deduct any points with respect to this dealer trigger being permanently apart here at the farm. It is kind of off to the side. You could have a fairly large area here to build out whatever you wanted and not really have to worry about that. Or you could say, well, it's not sellable. It's not completely customizable. And that's the route that I'm going to go ahead and take today. So we are going to deduct a quarter of a point with respect to the farm being customizable because the dealer trigger there is permanently a part of the map. And what we'll do is come up here to the north and then make our way kind of clockwise. Now, with respect to productions, we do have 12 productions built into the map. We have our dairy, which we see right here. Standard base game dairy, so all the triggers where we would expect them. And then we have something interesting. This is our flour mill, everyone. Our grain mill. Looks great, doesn't it? I think the map author forgot to put a building here. In fact, there are two areas. This and the sawmill, where we have all the associated triggers, but no building. Now, either that's on purpose, or the triggers are here, and you can build this out however you want. It is on buyable land, after all. I'll let you all decide what you think. Right, if we go and toss F5 in here, right, there's no hidden building. We go to F4, right, there's no hidden building here whatsoever. So I'm not sure what's going on, but this is our grain mill. As far as other productions, we do have a sugar mill, grape processor, we have a cereal mill, oil mill, carpentry, tailor, spinnery, bakery, we've already talked about the sawmill, and a BGA. So we have our spinnery below. We have our biogas plant, which we do own at the start. The one 3-sided silage bunker, and we have the BGA itself. Now, something that I did not try earlier, let's go ahead and see. Can we sell the BGA? We do own the land. The BGA does go away, but these light poles are going to remain. It is something you will need to work around if you do wish to change up the biogas plant. We'll have to work around those light poles. And then the silage bunker is also going to be permanently a part of the map. While we're here in build mode, I will tell you that we have all standard base game and DLC buildings, sheds, silos, containers, production items, sell points, greenhouses, animals, deco elements, and ground textures. Pretty much there isn't anything custom here on this particular map. This map is about as standard as you're going to get as far as things available in build mode. So we continue to make our way down the eastern side. We have our animal dealer, where we have our bale trigger. And then we have our animal dealer itself, trigger right there. Here we have the tailor. We have our fuel point on the map. And we also have another dealer trigger. And this dealer trigger does not have markers, but we're looking at basically where that trigger is located. Now there's a couple other interesting things on this map. We've got 2 question marks that are questionably positioned. One here beside field 25, and one is actually within field 15. There we see it below. Here we have our vehicle dealer, which is literally across the street from our starting farm. We have another dealer trigger located right over here by this building. And then our actual vehicle dealer trigger is way over here, all by its lonesome. Let's go ahead and grab a Mahindra. So we've got a pretty large area here. 4 things to spawn in at. Although I gotta wonder if maybe it's only going to spawn in here as opposed to the rest of this area because of where this trigger is located. So be a little cautious. You may be limited with your dealer spawn size simply by the way this is possibly oriented with respect to this activation icon. Down from the dealer, directly south, we have our oil mill. We have our cereal factory. Let's make our way back across the eastern side of the map here. Here we have our carpentry. And then we have our sawmill. The second mysterious production facility. So we have all the triggers here, just missing the building. So we have our wood sell point, we have our wood sell trigger, we have our pallet spawn point, we have our interactive icon, and we have our wood chip fill point. But we're missing our sawmill building. So again, kind of same principle. I don't know if that is deliberate or if that is something that is missing and really should appear there. You can see our cereal mill or oil factory. Make our way across the southern part of the map. As the description said, this map is built on a flat plain for the most part. There are some slight undulations on some fields here and there. Over here in town, in the southwest portion, we do have a grocery sell point. We also, right beside that, have a farmer's market sell point. We have a restaurant We have our bakery, Mama Joe's Diner, and that is pretty much it down here in the southwestern town. Now, as we make our way up to the last couple triggers, let's talk about our map scoring here. So we're going to give the map a full point with respect to production being built in or areas set aside for such. We've got 12. We're not taking off points because we have 2 of those are kind of void of buildings. They have all the active triggers, so they are going to function, even though if they do look a little funny without those buildings. We're going to take a quarter of a point off with respect to the lack of the ability to sell chocolate. So here we have our grape processor and our sugar mill. Now, with respect to the farm being customizable, we've mentioned we are going to take a quarter point off with respect to the dealer trigger being permanently a part of the farm. Now, you may or may not decide if that's really that big of a deal to you. And if it's not that big of a deal to you, that's fine. Then you can adjust the score kind of your own right. With respect to buildings where appropriately and ground textures using the new texturing technique, we are going to give the map a full point because, well, these are all basically Elm Creek buildings and Elm Creek textures. Then the last one is trigger and interactive areas being clearly marked. We are going to deduct a quarter of a point because of the missing marker icons over here at the dealer trigger where we have the gas station. So that's going to wrap this map up with a score of 4.25 out of 5. Now, I'd love to know from you all down in the comments below, what do you think of the new America map? Is this something that you're looking to maybe get into on? I think it's going to be great for those who are looking for maybe a mod map, but don't want to dive too far down the extreme with respect to odd-shaped fields or other things. Again, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And until next time, happy farming.